Noam Chomsky is an American linguist, political activist, and he is recognized as the father of modern linguistics for his theories of generative and universal grammar, as well as challenging behaviorism. He's currently a professor at MIT and a laureate professor at the University of Arizona, and his work has profoundly impacted fields like linguistics, philosophy, and cognitive science. So, Chomsky's theory of generative grammar proposes that humans are born with an innate language faculty called universal grammar. This suggests that all human languages share a common underlying structure and that a finite set of rules allow speakers to produce and understand an infinite number of novel sentences. These common underlying structures would meet something like noun-like and verb-like categories, a specific way to form questions, and a method for indicating plurality. This inherent capacity explains why children can acquire language so quickly and why certain patterns are consistent across diverse languages. His work revolutionized linguistics by shifting the focus from behaviorism to the internal mental aspects of a language acquisition and structure. Generative grammar, however, proposes that language is a system of rules capable of generating all the grammatical sentences within a language. So, a key feature about generative grammar is productivity, meaning a finite set of rules that can produce an infinite number of sentences. He also introduced the concept of competence, which is a person's knowledge of the rules of a language, and performance, or linguistic performance, the way people actually use the language in real world situations, which is something that is very common. I would say a lot of people can score pretty highly on language performance, as in they can talk the language nearly daily. However, when it comes to competence, not a lot of the population is going to be able to know accurately the ins and outs of a language, or the grammar structures, the syntax, the everything. I mean, I know English and I know Spanish, but I don't think I could be able to. I wouldn't consider myself language competent, I would say. And then, finally, Chomsky is also known for his rejection of behaviorism. His work was a direct challenge to behaviorist theorists, such as those of B.F. Skinner, which claimed language was learned through imitation and conditioning. Chomsky argued that human creativity and the ability to produce and understand novel sentences showed that language is a more complex innate cognitive ability. This really grabbed my attention because as a psychology student, I've heard of B.F. Skinner, and I know we've learned a lot about language acquisition and cognitive processing, at least in toddlers and stuff. But the idea that language acquisition can be, as it's learning, it can be an infinite number of possibilities, speaks a lot to the cognitive function of the human brain, and is very interesting. So yeah, I'm a fan of Chomsky's work, and I found his theories of universal grammar and generative grammar very highly interesting.